Hey y'all. I'm going to repaint my nails just because playing the ukulele, and also it's just been like growing out. The ukulele, obviously, like my playing finger, as you can tell, the nail polish just chips off. While I am doing this, I wanted to talk to y'all. How are you guys doing? Also, I used to never say y'all, and then I started hanging out with people that said y'all. You know who you are. How are you guys in quarantine? Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about quarantine and the effects that it's having on people, myself included. I know that for a lot of my friends, more than one, and for myself, about a week ago, it was really just getting to me. And whenever I would go grocery shopping with my Lola, I really would have a lot of social anxiety just because I was worried about, okay, well, that person's not wearing a mask. What if they're sick? Or if that person does have a mask, can I still, I don't know. And I'm only educated so much. I know what the news says, and I also know that even scientists are still trying to figure it out. So I'm trying my best to stay home like we're all supposed to, but that has really affected my daily routine and everything. And I know that that sounds very superficial, I would say, almost kind of like, oh well, the virus interrupted my routine, where it's there's more to life than routines and things like that, clearly. And I feel like this is kind of an eye-opener for a lot of people, including myself. There's people out in the world suffering, and there's things out in the world that are just, they can change your life. And I think it's really hard to view things in a positive light when you can't go out to see your friends, or maybe you're in a place that you don't like. Maybe you're back home and maybe that's not the best place for you mentally to be. I think it is really, really difficult to grasp all of that at once. I just want to say that even if I can't relate to your situation, someone can, and you're not alone. I know that I can preach, sit here and preach, oh, work out and do artwork and relax, take a bath, do some self-care, or FaceTime friends or your boyfriend or your girlfriend, but at the same time, I know realistically that sometimes that's just not enough, and sometimes those things make you even more sad. I think that this time has really really made everyone more thankful for their friends and their family, and I think that that's a good thing. I also want to just say, you might not be motivated right now, but you got this, and you're gonna pull through, I'm gonna pull through, everyone's gonna pull through, and you got this. It's time to create, it's time to love, laugh, try new things, spend time with your family. It's time to reconnect with people. And I mean, reconnecting with people is honestly the best thing you can do right now, I think, because if you're scared of rejection, you're not gonna see them in real life. That sounds so morbid, but it's so true. I just wanted to talk about that for a little bit because I really enjoy talking about some topics on my YouTube platform. Sometimes I run out of topics, and so I know that that's a really ongoing topic. I've tried to take everyone's mind off of that in my videos, like cooking and stuff, doing that kind of thing, just kind of like an escape. But a little moment of truth serum there. Okay, so they're still kind of red from the stain. Yeah, these are my natural nails. This nail is a bit longer than all the rest, which I don't really understand, but okay, I'm gonna go in with a gold, and then maybe, just maybe, we'll put this little party mix on. never have I ever had gold phalanges. I was thinking, and I was thinking actually today, and I know I talk about a lot of like my goals and stuff, but I think that that's like really not only motivating when I see it, but also it kind of opens up a discussion, which I really like. I do really want to travel a lot and like go on more adventures. I work, I pay my own bill. Well, I'm not working right now, but I usually do work and I pay my own bills, like phone, car insurance, like that kind of thing. I don't have like tons of money to be like plane tickets and that kind of thing, or staying in hotels, or you know, the whole nine. At least not right now. I don't know. This is all hypotheticals and like dreams right now. But I've seen these vans, like vans that are redone into like homes. So kind of like van life. If you Google or you search on Instagram van life, like hashtag van life or something like that, there are so many people that have redone like vans or buses. I know my aunt and her husband have redone a bus. I saw another one on Pinterest last night of just like a Volkswagen van redone, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do that. That looks kind of terrifying. I don't really like that. No, honey. That's a little too much. It's a little too Greek goddess Zeus and Athena for me. Okay, so I actually decided that I'm just gonna do a clear polish and then probably try to put these little guys on there just for a little something something. But yeah, I mean, just not prepared to have gold fingers right now. I was looking on Pinterest and they had this van and I was like, man, that looks so cool. I really want to do that. And I mean, you can do whatever you put your mind to. I'm very much a believer of that, and I feel like I've done that, especially like in 2020. I have done that in a lot of my life so far in 2020. So I feel like I could definitely do it. Only thing that like very much concerns, everything else is kind of like minor concern, like okay, well, I could probably figure that out, is where do I like park and sleep in my car without feeling like I'm gonna like be hurt by someone or people or animals or something like that when I'm alone, a female alone in a van. Let's just be honest. Like, where would I even go when it's sleep time that I can feel safe, like genuinely safe? I don't know. If I wasn't alone, I'd feel way better. Even if it was just me and another girl, I'd feel so much better. Honestly, that's like one thing that's really holding me back from that, which sucks. Can't say it'd be different if I was a boy, because I'm not a boy and I don't know, you know, everyone feels different. But I definitely know as like the kind of person I am, and in fact being a female, I don't really feel safe like being alone in a van in the middle of some, I don't want to say parking lot, I don't really know where you're allowed to do that, just like to sleep in your car and stay overnight. That is one thing that I really, really want to do, and I've wanted to do that for a very, very long time. I forget when I first saw like camper life or whatever. I think I grew up hiking as like a very young kid, so I've always loved like that kind of stuff. And I was looking, and one of my friends, or not friends, but someone I knew from high school, he just posted like that he's been doing exactly that, living in his car and pretty much traveling all over. That's super rad, and I really want to do that. If you have any tips or opinions, or you think, okay, well maybe it's, or if you feel like, hey girl, it's fine, I want to know. Please open up that conversation. I'm opening it up right now. And another thing is, okay, if I set up a van and everything, well, I would start here, obviously, and then work my way up to Washington. But oh my gosh, I want to be in my van, parked in Lake Cushman, and go to that, like, wake up in my van, cook some eggs, some toast, have my cat. I don't know how Jack would not get eaten, but have him not get eaten, have my cat, go to the lake with friends, and vlog it all. Can we just get an amen for that? How awesome would that be? I mean, if anyone wants to go with me, put your apps in now. Instagram, DM me, yt.dorisbates. I'm ready for that adventure. I know I'm still doing the school thing, so once this is all sorted out though, and I'm doing the online school and I'm settled, the sky is the limit, boo. The sky is the limit. I honestly, let's talk about self-discovery and figuring out, like, getting the motivation to really do you and what you want to do, not what your parents want you to do, or not what you think you should be doing, or not what you've thought you've wanted to do all your life, or not what your friend from preschool wants you to do. What do you want to do right now in this present moment? The you in 2020, not the you in 2019 or whatever year, the you in 2020. What do you want to do? But I'm straight up serious. It is time for us all to be happy, to seize the moment, to make some changes or to not make some changes and just keep thriving. It is time. I feel like I was not thriving in my environment whatsoever as a person when I was living at home. And I don't have anything against, like, my parents or anything, but I wasn't thriving. And I mean, that's where that statement ends, because it's just facts. Loved Washington and I want to go back, but I also, it's not the right time for me, and I know that now. It's not the right time right now. In this very moment, it's not. Because I feel like I'm so much more in touch with myself as who I am, that I know what I want now. I've got my sights set, and I'm not saying I'm gonna have my sights set tomorrow or the next day. I just have my sights set today on, it is not what I want right now. I want to live in Florida, so I'm gonna live in Florida. If you got an idea and you know, like the van thing, like, I know I want to do that and I wanted to do that, so why am I not striving towards that? I need to start doing research. I need to start, like, looking up girls that have done that alone or with friends or whoever. Literally nothing is stopping me from at least starting it. Like, I don't have the money to buy a van, so I'm not gonna buy a van. But does that mean I need to give up on that or postpone it? No, that just means I can start doing research and I can start putting pictures together of, like, manifestation of, like, this is what I want this to look like when I get there. Because then I believe that I can. If you can see something, at least for me, if you can see it, you're gonna believe it. And I'm a firm believer of that, because it's like, I would say, for example, I never in a million years thought I would be someone having this conversation, let alone to a camera. Never did I ever. Did I want to do it? Heck yeah. I wanted to have my own YouTube channel in high school, but I didn't do it. You know why? Because I was scared of what people would say or what people would think or what my friends would think, or my parents, or would it even be entertaining, because do I have an entertaining life? Those things were stopping me from doing what I wanted to do in the moment, and I didn't do that. And I can't go back, and I can't get that time back, you know? I would say, honestly, if you want to do something, just start. And I know you see all those things on Facebook or Pinterest or Instagram being like, just start, just do it. And when I saw those things, and when I still see those things, I'm like, okay, but how? How do I do that? And when I started to ask myself that question in the beginning of 2020 of, okay, how do I move to Connecticut? Okay, how do I buy a plane ticket to Florida? Okay, now I want to move here. How do I move here? How do I register for courses? How do I do all these? How do I pay taxes? How do I do that kind of stuff? And whenever I asked a how do I question, I didn't ask myself immediately. Most of these things I waited it out and was like, okay, well, I don't know how to do taxes, so I'm gonna avoid that like the plague. Then one day it came to me naturally, and I was kind of like, wait a minute, this is important for me, and this is important for my future. I need to learn, and I need to ask the questions that I don't know, without, whether it sounds stupid or not. If I have that question, I'm gonna ask, whether it be my parents, the internet, a mentor, a friend, you know, like, how do I do this? Why am I doing this? Okay, maybe I don't agree with that, but now I have an answer. And now I can do it myself and pass it on to someone else. If it's important to me, it's gonna come to me naturally. And if it's not important to me, I'm gonna forget about it. And so once I learned that, I just kind of started focusing in on what is coming into my mind naturally, without me prompting anything. And I would say I'm definitely someone that is very curious, and I have a lot of questions. In 2020, I have honestly been pretty spontaneous and just kind of been like, well, if there's a will, there's a way. And I've also put myself in the position of, okay, well, if I want to do something, I'm going to commit. And if I'm going to commit, then it's going to require me to ask questions. And then when I ask questions, I can learn. And when I learn, I can teach someone else. And then that's rewarding for me. If you want to do something, but you don't want to just do it for you, think of all of the things that you're going to be able to do for other people once you've learned and you've done it, or you've gotten that information, or you've asked those questions, and then people will ask you. And how crazy, like how rewarding is that? It's such a simple concept, but I never thought about it that way. And sometimes I forget that. Another thing that's been really helping me in quarantine is whether you're religious or not, I am Christian, and I just got baptized Christian in November, so that's exciting. And one thing that's really helped me in quarantine, and something that I've actually started doing in quarantine and now I want to continue doing, I wake up, and before I reach for my phone, I thank God for letting me move my body, for being able to breathe easy, for my grandparents waking up in the morning with me, for being able to get a cup of coffee with my Lola in the morning and make her coffee, or to be able to color and draw with my papa, and my mom and my dad back home, and my brother, my friends, everyone. I just thank God for them. And even if I'm upset and I don't feel like being thankful, I still thank God for at the very least, letting me wake up. And sometimes I forget. Sometimes I will literally wake up and I'll just reach for my phone, and then I'll realize, like, wait, I'm on my phone. And I'll put it back on my dresser, and then I'll thank God. And then when I'm done thanking God, I'll go back on my phone. And I think it's very, very simple. And you don't even have to, if you're not spiritual, that's fine, like, or religious. That's totally okay. But I'm just saying, like, you can definitely, like, people are still grateful without being religious. You know what I mean? Like, you can still be like, wow, I woke up this morning. How awesome is that I get to live another day, you know? You can still do that. And I think you'd be surprised on the difference that makes in your day, because that has been a game changer for me. Because then you start your day with at least one thing good. One thing good. And that's honestly all, I feel like that's all you need to start your day. One thing that's good. Even if it's, hey, I woke up this morning. I got to open my eyes and I got to see and breathe fresh air in my bed. Warm, cozy. How lucky am I? I feel like that is honestly such a game changer, and I never did that before. I would just grab my phone, spend an hour on YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, all that stuff. And I realized, like, wow, I'm starting my day off with other people, other people's lives. What is that really what I want to be centering my life around? It just creates a disconnect within myself to start my day off like that. Being grateful in the morning only takes literally one sentence. Hey, thanks for waking me up. And then you can talk to your friends. And after you literally have been like, hey, I'm so grateful that I have friends and I have my family to talk to, then you talk to them, you're like, whoa, this is like, how cool is that? You know what I mean? It sounds obvious because it is kind of obvious, but I didn't think about that before at all. And it kind of made me have a bitter soul. It honestly did. I felt very bitter. I felt very angry and sad, and I felt alone. And then I realized, like, hey, actually, I woke up this morning and I get to smell fresh air, go outside and see the palm trees, the evergreens, the grass, the mountains, the birds. How lucky am I to just be able to see those things and smell that fresh air and see the wind rustling in leaves. You know what I mean? I saw something that said you need to romanticize your life as much as you romanticize others. Once I started to do that, it was game over. I was literally worlds happier. Because I started romanticizing literally waking up and early in the morning and getting a cup of coffee with my Lola. Started romanticizing that. Started romanticizing the wind and the trees. I started romanticizing everything. Because I'm a hopeless romantic. And I romanticize everyone else's life, so why not mine? Painted my nails like this. They kind of look like jellies. Like the jelly shoes that I used to wear. And I kind of love that. Also, I've been loving a pink, so we're gonna go with it.